everybody. I'm Katie Richman at ESPN Prod Girl. I know lots of you guys from past events and this type of thing. I work at ESPN, have worked with social media at the company for a few years. I work specifically on the ESPNW, our new women's business now. My boss is here. Hi. And today, it's so funny because when I first started coming to Jeff's events a few years ago, it was such this feeling that this is the crew that gets it, and we have to get back to these companies and even just show that there's value with social media. And I think we're in such a different place now. It's fabulous, you know, yay, we did that part. I think that we made a lot of progress. And I never thought I would be standing up in front of a slide that says, just say no to doing anything with the word social in it. But, you know, after talking to tons of social media managers in different positions, I think one of the biggest challenges we're facing right now is just kind of this deluge of requests that come in that are throwing us off track. A lot of us don't necessarily come from being project managers, but that's essentially what we're being asked to do every day. And so I thought the best use of the time would be to kind of talk about just saying no to doing just something social. So, you know, to set the scene, a day for me kind of looks like this, and it might for you. I'm very optimistic. You know, I may have had the worst week, but I'll get up on a Monday morning. You know, I'm getting ready. This is going to be the day. It's going to be so productive. I'm going to get in. I'm going to get on all those projects. We're going to get this into development. I'm going to have this meeting. You know, that goes all the way until I'm getting to my desk, firing up my computer, and then the deluge of requests come. The something social that I'm kind of talking about. And, you know, rather than go through and explain all of those, so here's some. I'm sure that you guys get stuff like this all the time, but whatever's come through a blog that day, you know, photo sharing, so hot right now, we need to do that. Oh, check-ins, let's make our site about check-ins. There's a Facebook game another group did, we should do a Facebook game. And, you know, at first you're like, yes, I'm on board with that, let's go. Okay, a blog, yes, we're on a blog. Okay, a newsletter. And I think a lot of us are so excited about these ideas, we're just not making as much progress as maybe we could. So if you guys can look up for a second, who here is like a social media manager of some kind? Manager, director, that type of thing. Okay. So I'm already preaching to the choir, and it'll be interesting. Talk to me later, but I really want to hear about how you guys solve these problems. For me, you know, it's one of those things where I come to these and I really like to get some tools. So what I'm hoping to do with the rest of this time is really just talk through the strategy I've kind of come up with to try and get my arms around just saying no to the stuff that comes in. So, okay, well, the first one is actually you need to have a reset day. When I'm feeling overwhelmed, it doesn't have to be January 1st, but you know that feeling January 1st when you come in and everything's fresh and everything's possible and you can kind of reset what you're going to do for the year. That can be any day. Like, I came to this realization last year that I can have my own personal kind of New Year's Day, fresh day. And so I've actually, you know, this will happen maybe once every 6 months. I figured I need that. Things are flying in. I don't know what the goals are. I don't know what the priorities are. I'll schedule this for myself, usually on a Monday. So it might be like a Tuesday. I'm harried. 2 weeks out, you know, this Monday, that's my day. This is my reset day. Put it in your calendar, save it for yourself, do what you need to do so that you can ignore your inbox that day. People know you're in a meeting, whatever, say you're not there. And just protect that time for yourself. And, you know, when you wake up that day, go in with this feeling that this is reset day. It's reset day. Anything's possible. Really going to relook at all of these goals. And speaking of goals, if your department or your group has, you know, we have a lot of strategies and missions at ESPN because we are a really team-oriented company, obviously, and we're really driven towards achievement, so we have a lot of central kind of goals for achievement. So before I'll go into Reset Day, I'll kind of take another look at that stuff because it'll be important in what you choose of your own pile of what's important. So that's step one, is plan the Reset Day, go in. The goals for Reset Day and what you do, or what I do, are a brain dump. What's on your mind? This is sort of like getting things done style, but what's bugging you? What's eating at you? What's like making you over and over churn things? You know, that can be from the YouTube channel that someone suggested to we need a newsletter to I really need to work out the integration with this other department better to you know, what conference are we speaking at? So it can be really broad, and I think one of the biggest problems we have is that our positions are really kind of loose and big and can mean a whole lot of different things. So you make this gigantic list, and then the second part of that day, and this is the hardest part, is what this slide says, which is visualizing a full plate. Like I think this is one of the hardest things for us, but if you were making widgets, you would know exactly how many you could output in a day. Even people on the more technical side, technical project management, it's very much a ticket gets put in, it's calculated how much time it's going to be, there's an agreed on output date, and everything can shift if you shift dates. We got to try to do that, and this isn't going to look the same for me as it is for you, and it may feel ridiculous at first because it's not quantifiable this way, but we have to start somewhere. So I threw this one up here, if you had social media sites that you maintain on a day-to-day basis, what do you really feel with your resources now you can maintain? What are you doing, and then what does that leave you? So I did this one for a month, but if you do stunts and promos and cross promotions, what's on the docket, like what's already happening, and what does that leave you with? And kind of the same, for whatever the big categories are, the big buckets. And don't think this is like your forever list, and you don't even have to show it to anybody yet, but it feels really good, let me tell you, to at least start this. So once you do this, that's reset day, and that's over. You visualize what a full plate or what capacity kind of looks like for you, and you see where the holes are with that. The next part that's a little bit difficult is you actually have to share this with your team and try and get buy-in. So if you think that your max output is 4 videos a month, but your boss thinks it's 10, you obviously have a huge disconnect there. Or if they think that you can maintain 6 social media pages and you think it's 1, it's just a conversation that needs to happen, but it feels really good when you can start coming to kind of some central idea of what your full social media kind of docket looks like. And if it's way off base, it starts that conversation of what resources you still need. So, basically once you get this, you agree upon it with your team, share it. Like stick it up at your desk, put it big, put it on a board, pass it out in meetings, throw it from like the top of your building or whatever. But it really becomes your measuring stick and should go to your whatever meetings you're having on a day-to-day basis. And this becomes like your power to say no to just these things that fly in. And the key is I'm not even saying to say no. The last trick that I kind of have is, let me see if I have this as a slide. Okay, so create a parking lot. This is a little difficult to see. This is the bulletin board behind my desk. The parking lot is something that somebody in technology at ESPN talked to me about, and it's not where ideas go to die. It's just where ideas are fermenting. And it gives you a place to park the stuff that just comes in on a day-to-day basis and is throwing us off track or throwing your day completely off track. So that email newsletter, yes, important. It's going in this parking lot. I don't even remember what I have on mine right now, but it could be the socialization of our website or anything that's not in your roadmap, your monthly roadmap, but is important. And basically, I have ideas coming in from all different parts of the company. I think a lot of us do, which is amazing because we're getting it from places that aren't considered creative areas. Everybody, the humanization of brands means our companies, people at our companies are feeling much more open to share their ideas. And you could tell people this is not where they go to die, this is the reassessment zone. So every 1 to 2 weeks, you then take your parking lot ideas and you got to run them back up against your list. Are the things that are in motion or about to be produced still more important than these things that just came up in our last meeting? Our international social media plan, that's gigantic, that's in the parking lot. Does that need to start replacing some of these other things? But the key and sort of the bottom line of what I'm saying is it's got to replace something. And most of us, I'm sure, feel like we're working at 100%. If you're working at 100%, how are you going to manage these things that are flying in on a day-to-day basis? They have to replace something. There's no 101% as much as I think we all think that there might be. It's like people that give kids more than an A or there's more than a 4.0. No, there isn't. There's 100%. So, I think that we just got to think about that. So my recap, just say no to doing something social in general. I think together we can make this happen, share plans and ideas. Visualize what full capacity is for you. This sounds really boring, but it's crucial. get buy-in on that, share it with your team, and then create a parking lot for where your new ideas are going to go. That's exactly 10 minutes, and I'm happy to talk to anyone all day about this. So thank you very much, guys.
That was great.